This would be how usually a hot pot meal set looks like in Taiwan. We have hot pot restaurants everywhere and the combination could be very similar. So, in a hot pot set, we will usually have the soup base, which is the broth in pot, put on the stove by the staff. The soup base flavor should be as your own choice. A veggie plate with some fish cakes or egg dumplings, for example. A meat plate, which should also be decided by yourself what meat you're having. And an option of grain. There might be rice, udon noodles, and instant noodles to choose from. And this time, I was having the most basic broth. The pork and beef combo, the default veggie plate, and the rice which didn't request an extra charge. I personally love ordering more meat or ingredients because I want to. First, we have to turn on the stove so the broth starts to boil, and we can start putting the veggie into the broth. I do the veggie first since the light brown stuff could appear right after we cook the meat, and that sometimes annoys me. So I tend to do the meat after I finish cooking the veggie. But if I really want to enjoy the meat, then I won't care. Moreover, they have a net spoon, or more like a strainer ladle for removing the scum. Remember to adjust the power of the stove when needed, so everything serves your preference. I would get a bowl of the broth, which is full of the veggie flavor, and then set the cooked veggie aside and start cooking the meat. The chopsticks touch the rare meat frequently, so we can either get a spare pair or just remember to put the parts in the boiling hot pot soup before using the chopsticks for getting cooked food. During the whole process, we enjoy the cooked food with rice whenever we want. This place has the broth thermal bottles for customers to refill the broth, while other restaurants might have the staff do it for the customers. Would love to introduce this unique ingredient. It is the deep-fried, air-dried soy milk skin. I don't think I translated right, but it's the deep-fried, air-dried soy milk skin. They take the surface layer that is generated when a pot of soy milk is gently heated, air-dry the skin-like ingredient, and probably then deep-fry it. Should be vegan as long as the oil for deep frying is a vegan oil. My friend loves the crunchy texture of it, so she would only set it in the broth for seconds while I crave for the softness, so it'd be in the pot forever. There are also hot pot places which have every ingredient cooked in pot for you, and the all-you-can-eat hot pot places out there. People can always explore new spots and eventually have their seasonal favorite ones, and yeah, that's how Taiwanese people do. Hope you fall in love with the hot pot just like us.